Hello there, YouTube. It is your boy B3 back to another kicking movie reaction review. I know I promised I would do Power Rangers in Space and Power Rangers Time Force soon, but when I was gonna watch them, I was house sitting for a friend, and their Blu-ray player was not really responding. Like, the sound would come through, but the video wouldn't. I don't know what the problem was. So those kind of got pushed to the side, and then I was going to do the Owl House Season 2 as well. That got pushed to the side just because I noticed Star Trek was leaving Netflix. And I was like, holy shit, I have to binge a bunch of Star Trek. But I'll review that Star Trek. So, there you go. But today we're talking about an 80s action movie, which isn't typically the type of thing I do unless it's also sci-fi or horror. And this is sci-fi. It is the original RoboCop, starring Peter Weller and Nancy Allen. I'm actually a big Peter Weller fan. Most people know him for this, but he also was the voice of Batman in the Dark Knight Returns movie adaptation, the animated one. So good, two-part film. Oh my god, definitely check it out. Maybe I'll review all those animated DC movies one day, but to be honest, I just haven't felt like ever doing really one. But yeah, RoboCop also stars Daniel O'Hurley and Ronnie Cox. But yeah, Peter Weller's a little underrated. The Los Angeles Times called this the best action movie of the year. I do have my own copy. It is rated R. 103 minutes in color. It's from the 80s. So obviously, you know, that's kind of the go-to. Let me give you a read-up of the back of my DVD here, which was actually given to me as a gift by my friend Steven. If you've been watching my videos for a long time, you know who Steven is. He used to be in, like, all my videos. But he lives in another state now. We love you, Steven. We miss you. Have a good one. But there's a new law enforcer in town, and he's half man, half machine. From the director of Total Recall and Basic Instinct comes a sci-fi fantasy with sleek, high-powered drive. Time. About an indestructible high-tech policeman who dishes out justice at every turn. When a good cop, Peter Weller, gets blown away by some ruthless criminals, innovative scientists and doctors are able to piece him back together as an unstoppable crime-fighting cyborg called RoboCop. Impervious to bullets and bombs and equipped with high-tech weaponry, RoboCop quickly makes a name for himself by cleaning up the crime-ridden streets of violence-ravaged Detroit. But despite his new hardened exterior, RoboCop is tormented by scraps of memory of his former life and relives vivid nightmares of his own death at the hands of the vicious killers. Now he's out to seek more than justice. He wants revenge! And it's pretty dank. It's a John Davidson production, or Davison, sorry. A Paul Verhoeven film. Peter Weller and Nancy Allen star in it, as well as Daniel O'Hurley, Ronnie Cox, Kurtwood Smith, Miguel Ferrer. Music by Basil Poledouris. Director of photography, Jost Vacano. I'm bad at pronouncing all names. Film editor, Frank J. Oroste. RoboCop itself was designed by Rob Bottin, executive producer John Davidson, written by Edward Numiere and Michael Miner, produced by Arnie Schmidt, directed by Paul Verhoeven, and it's from 1987 Orion Pictures Corporation. Yeah, that's who owns it, Orion. But this is a really good film. It's actually mine and one of my favorite films, to be honest. One of my favorite action movies easily. And Big Boy Chungus, it's one of his favorites as well. We both love RoboCop. We quote it pretty much all the time. I constantly... No, this is for real. I constantly say, dead or alive, you're coming with me. I say that all the time. And Big Boy Chungus always says, I'd buy that for $1. He says that even more than I say mine, because his is more applicable than my favorite quote. Of course. But it's a really good film, and you don't really expect it to be the big social satire that it is. But it is, you know? It makes a lot of statements about things like capitalism and the police, etc., etc. It's a very good film. It's got some great practical effects. It's cast very well. It's action-packed and emotional as well as humorous. It's really just a very well-balanced film. It's an incredibly well-balanced film. It just is. And RoboCop's design was actually inspired by Space Sheriff Gavin. If you follow this channel religiously, you'll know that I'm a big fan of tokusatsu, like Power Rangers, Super Sentai, Kamen Rider, Metal Heroes, etc. And Metal Heroes and Toei, they were so flattered by RoboCop, basing its design off of Space Sheriff Gavin, that they actually made a bunch of heroes based on RoboCop. Yes, they did. Like, most of the Metal Heroes, I think, are actually inspired by RoboCop. And they even have a film called Lady Battle Cop, which is just RoboCop with tennis and tits. That's it. I will review Lady Battle Cop at some point. And I'll probably review RoboCops 2 and 3. I don't know about the reboot. I never really had interest in it. And I also don't know about the 4 TV films. There was like a series of 4 TV RoboCop films. And I think they're really rare and hard to find. I don't know, I haven't really looked for them, but I've never seen them anywhere. I barely even know they exist. I've only literally heard word of them twice. Once when my friend who owns a comic shop told me they existed. And then I read an article recently that once said it. That they existed. And that was like it. I read that article very recently. Huh. So RoboCop is it's incredible. It's a truly incredible film. Very action-packed, but not so action-packed that there's not room for story. One cool thing that I think they did is RoboCop never gets any true closure about his family in this film. I don't remember in 2 and 3. I barely remember 3 at all. And I remember really not liking RoboCop 2. But yeah, he like goes to their home and his wife and kid moved after he was declared dead. Apparently they just didn't mention that he was the one inside RoboCop to them, which is probably smart. And they moved, and when he's starting to get his memories back and he went to see them, they were gone. And that's like it, he just doesn't find them. And I thought that was kind of impactful. I don't think it was supposed to be as impactful as it came across as. I think they might have just not had time for it or something, but it honestly really worked out for the film. Being from the 80s, it does have a heavy emphasis on practical effects. Many of you know that I'm very triggered by... If I say the word, YouTube is likely to flag this video or take it down, but RAPE scenes... I'm very triggered by them, and there's an attempted RAPE in this, but he stops it. I can handle that, but I just want to let you guys know that's in there. You know? An attempted assault like that. But RoboCop does stop it and save the woman. Doesn't mean she got out of it trauma-free, but, you know, less trauma than she would have. And that's good that he was able to save her. Even though I know it's fictional. But I do want to do some RoboCop comic reviews on the main channel at some point as well. I will definitely review 2 and 3 at some point. It's just not a high priority for me. I have way too many films that I need to review. I just bought Halloween's 2 and 3, so I gotta review them. I'm recording this in mid-September, which means like horror movie collection sets are starting to hit the shelves, so I'll be buying up a bunch. I saw a Jeepers Creepers set, a Critters set, all kinds of sets that I really want to get my hands on. So that's it for RoboCop, starring Peter Weller and Nancy Allen. It's pretty cool. I think MGM has RoboCop now. I don't know if Orion is even still doing stuff. But I really love this film. It's one of my favorite action movies. It's probably my second favorite action movie behind Predator. Predator's my favorite. I'd say this one's my second. I really need a RoboCop figure. Really, really do. But that's it. Thank you all once again for your support, and I'll see you all next time.